So with me, that was mainly a theory, if I remember correctly, or if I read it correctly, and then we did some very short flying. And I guess with Chris, it was like 2 hours of flying, right?
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
maybe some briefing, yeah, before
Yeah.
that. Okay, one moment. Okay, I had a question because in the description it says that you did a power of stalls and they were good,
Okay.
but also power of stalls are mentioned in the plan for this session.
Okay.
So how was it?
I could always use more practice with my power off stalls, and I
All
think one of the
right.
problems I had with him was I didn't understand what he wanted me to do. Um,
All right. So we'll try to redo that then. In the meantime, feel free to load in the simulator, as we talk.
okay.
I want you to demonstrate a fully developed stall. So when that nose drops, there are basically two things that should be done almost simultaneously or just very close to each other. And that is to let go of the yoke, right? And apply power.
Okay.
Once you do that, and before that,
Here, look around, make sure no one's in the way, and I'm gonna turn the master on, and I turn my beacon on. Fuel pump is on, and there it's on now. So I want to give it some mixture for a bit. I look to see that I've got a bit of fuel flow, and I do. Mixture is lean, fuel pump off, and I do a quick check again, make sure the prop's clear, and I start the prop to be off.
yeah,
And we got to start,
just
and I got a bit of
yeah,
oil pressure, and I'll pause here for a minute. Did that satisfy your question? Okay, and we've confirmed that it's clear visually over to the east, and it's clear visually to the west. Navigation lights on, landing lights on, taxi lights off, strobe lights on. I'm going to get lined up with the runway, and I've confirmed that I'm on runway 08 by looking at the numbers. And there we go. So we ease it into full power. You see that we still got oil pressure, we've got vacuum, the temperature, airspeed's alive, a bit of backward pressure on the stick. We're going to rotate out at 55. Holding it on a heading at 07.
slight right foot in,
Light right, yeah.
and to keep that ball centered.
So I'm climbing at about 800 feet per minute, so about 80 feet before I hit 3,000. That's where I'm going to want to level off.
That's by the book, yes. And it's also a good thing to kind of make a radio call to Astoria. First, that you depart the pattern, and also that you're going to be doing some, maneuvers northeast of the airfield over the river. So I'll wait for you to make those calls and.
Oh, okay. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey, departing the area to the northwest at 3,000, northeast at 3,000, 5.5 miles out, and we're going to be doing some maneuvers for about 1 hour. Astoria.
Well, hopefully not that long. But we should be doing pattern work as well.
Okay.
Do that maneuver when you are really ready.
Do you want me to do the maneuver now?
Yes.
Okay. Power off stall. So I'm reducing the power.
And remember, if you are able, call those flaps to me. All right.
I will.
When you are changing them.
And I'm 10 degrees of flaps, 20 degrees of flaps. We're at 30 degrees of flaps. I'm maintaining my heading west with my rudder.
Yes. And really pitch up.
And I'm stalling, and I'm power on, and I'm bringing the flaps back up, coming back up to the altitude. Flaps 20 on flap 0. And I'm going to climb back up at VY on a westerly heading to 3,000. Well, and every landing is a go around, right? So I can go in, try and land on 08, and if it looks like the winds are incorrect, I can go around and I can land on a more appropriate runway.
That's absolutely correct, yes.
Okay, so here we'll do a radio call right now. So I'm 11, and I'm at roughly 3,000, and I'm to the northwest. Hopefully we get this one right. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk, 223 Echo Whiskey, 11 miles northwest, inbound for landing, Astoria. Okay, so then what I'm thinking about now is I'm thinking about, well, if I was landing on 08 and I had to pull off, I'm not going to be able to pull off on this taxiway. I don't want to drive down this runway. I know if it's an emergency, there's actually a runway that I could use here. It's called Jim's Taxiway. Or most appropriately, I'd be using this taxiway here.
Yeah, good thinking. I personally don't have any problems with you if you're using that part of the runway 14. It's just a very short.
Okay. So there we go. We're set up nicely then, eh?
I would say so. And you can even make that call now if you want.
Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey, joining the downwind for left 08, Astoria.
Slight correction, joining left downwind of runway 08.
Okay.
You said downwind of left 08. It doesn't make much sense.
Joining left downwind
left
08.
Downwind, runway 08, yeah.
Okay. And I'm just about to beam the numbers, and I'll begin to slow down a little bit. There we go. So I make sure my landing light's on. 10 degrees of flaps. Mixture full rich. And the speed's coming. And then we clear make sure nobody's coming in. They aren't. And we can begin our turn. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey. Left base 08, Astoria. We are.
And don't forget to start already like descent.
Another 10 degrees of flaps here. Oh, I'm climbing there. I didn't mean to be climbing. My bad. On that turn, I have a tendency to climb. A little bit more power. I'm on the glide path now. I got a stable approach. I'm going to begin my round out. And I've cut the throttle back. Nose up. And you wanted me to do a touch and go to keep moving, so I'm bringing my flaps up. Mixture's full rich. And my trim's set to take off. And I'm powering up. and then I'll communicate. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey departing 08 in the pattern, Astoria.
That is actually something that you don't need to say.
No?
No. It's just, you announce the final and it's gonna be touch and go, and the next call can be when you turn crosswind.
And you wanted me to do a touch and go to keep moving, so I'm bringing my flaps up. Mixture's full rich. And my trim's set to takeoff. And I'm powering up. And then I'll communicate. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey departing 08 in the pattern, Astoria.
That is actually something that you don't need to say.
No?
No. It's just, you announce the final and it's gonna be touch and go, and the next call can be when you turn crosswind.
Okay. So I'm at a cruise climb right now. I'm trying to get back closer to a VY climb. Trimming it for that. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey, left crosswind 08, Astoria. Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey, final 08, touch and go, Astoria. And I've overshot it.
As you can see, we're not too low.
No, it's nice actually.
It's just quite fast, so you will
really
take more
fast,
time.
yeah, I'm really fast. So I'm going to put the other 10 degrees of flaps in, so it's full flaps now, and I'm doing that so I can, part of the reason is to reduce my speed. I'm giving it a bit of left rudder to align it here.
If left rudder, then right aileron.
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to take it,
Astoria traffic, Skyhawk 223 Echo Whiskey, backtracking on 3-2 for the parking ramp. Astoria traffic.
Alright, Jim. So, how do you feel? Do you feel ready for a check ride?
I'd like to do one more practice flight, and then I'd like to do a check ride.
Well, there is a mock check ride, before
Oh,
real
I'd like
check
to.
ride. Yeah. So if you think you're ready, you don't need any special, practice flight, but you would like to experience what the check ride would look like, then I believe I can recommend you for that already.